Hello, history friends. This is the chapter 18 to 21 assessment. This is a test that's made up of all primary sources. So part 1 is about chapter 18, settling the western frontier. We've got a photo here. It says view the photo from the time period of the Homestead Act and then make 3 inferences below. So your inferences should be related to these questions 1, 2, 3. Number 1, who are these people? Are there any relationships among them? How are they feeling? Question 2, what are they doing and why? Question 3, where and when was this photo taken? Feel free to pause the recording, type your answers, and when you're ready, hit play again, and then we'll go on to the second primary source. View the poster below, then answer the following question. The poster says, Indian land for sale. Get a home of your own, easy payments, perfect title, possession within 30 days. Fine lands in the west, irrigated, irrigatable, grazing, agricultural, dry farming. Question 4 says, how did the Homestead Act impact Native Americans? So based on this poster, how did the Homestead Act impact Native Americans? Part 2 is Chapter 19, Becoming an Industrial Giant. View the political cartoon below. The title of the cartoon is The Monster Monopoly, and it is about the Standard Oil Company from 1884. What is the main idea of this cartoon? Who would agree with this cartoon and why? And who would disagree with this cartoon and why? Part 3, Chapter 20, A Nation of Cities. View the photo below and then make 3 inferences. Who are these people? Are there any relationships among them? How are they feeling? What are they doing and why? Where and when was this photo taken? Then we have a primary source reading, document-based reading called The Laws. Background info. In the late 1800s, thousands immigrated to America from Europe and Asia. Chinese-American writer Maxine Hong Kingston has examined immigrants' rights to belong in America. In her book, called Chinamen, Kingston included laws against Chinese immigration. The primary source begins here. The United States and China recognize the right of man to change his home and allegiance and the advantage of free emigration of their citizens from one country to the other. Article 5 of the Burlingame Treaty, signed in Washington, D.C., July 28, 1868. So that's the original Burlingame Treaty that says the United States and Chinese citizens are able to move to either country. In 1868, the year, 40,000 miners of Chinese ancestry were driven out. The 14th Amendment, adopted in that same year, said that naturalized Americans have the same rights as native-born Americans. But in 1870, the Nationality Act specified that only free white and African aliens were allowed to apply for naturalization. Chinese were not white. In 1878, California prohibited Chinese from entering. New state laws empowered cities to confine them or to throw them out. Ship owners were to be fined for transporting them. Chinese were barred from attending public schools. The only California fishermen forced to pay fishing and shellfish tax were the Chinese. They were prohibited from owning real estate. They could not apply for business licenses. Employers could be fined for hiring them. No Chinese could be hired by governments. No Chinese could testify in court, either for or against a white man. Federal courts declared some of the state and city laws unconstitutional. The laws were reenacted in another form. In 1880, the Burlingame Treaty was modified. The immigration of Chinese laborers to the United States would be reasonably limited. In return, the American government promised to protect Chinese from lynchings. In 1881, the Burlingame Treaty was suspended for 20 years. In protest, China ordered scholars studying in the United States to return home. Question number 11. What did the Nationality Act of 1870 say? Question 12. How did the U.S. government offer to protect the Chinese? Question 13. The Burlingame Treaty was suspended for 20 years. How did the Chinese respond? How or in what ways did the United States never really abide by the original Burlingame Treaty? Question 15. Which do you think was the most unreasonable law or event in the passage, and why? Part 4 is Chapter 21, A New Spirit of Reform. Please watch the video link below and then answer the questions that follow. So the first thing you need to do is click on the link, open it up, watch the YouTube video, and then question 16 says, why were unions formed? And question 17, what were 2 changes made because of the labor movement? When you're done, please hit submit.